We are back on the Mana Symbol channel, and we're playing something that I have termed Drunken Snapcaster Control. This is joining a beautiful tradition of decks that look like they are cube decks, for lack of a better description. They've got a lot of 1-ofs, a lot of 3-ofs, sometimes 2-ofs, and just a whole bunch of nonsense. So the best way to do this is with a deck that is generally a mid-range or a controlling deck. In this case, a controlling deck. So what do we got here? We've got an Esper control splashing red. And what exactly are we splashing red for? Well, in the main deck, Kolaghan's Command, Lightning Bolt, and some Lightning Helixes. It's an interesting choice because by and large, I feel like these pieces of removal are worse against the best aggressive decks in the format, those of the prowess group. However, Lightning Helix definitely gives you a little bump against burn, so that could be nice. And then one of the other main draws here is there are 4 copies of Expressive Iteration. So there's very few 4-ofs in this deck at all. So one of the cards that they have chosen to go all in on is Expressive Iteration. Why is that? Well, for blue and red, you get to look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them in your hand, one of them on the bottom of your library, and exile one. You may play the exiled one this turn. The upshot of this is that because you have to exile one and because you can only play it this turn, you kind of don't want to play this card on 2. 3 is the earliest turn you'd want to play it, and that way you can make sure that you can use this for a land drop. I'm unconvinced that this card is particularly good for this kind of deck, but there are 4 of it. This deck has 5-0'd twice in slightly different iterations, so I'm interested to see how that actually works out. It's got one of my favorite split cards in the format, the dual mode Drown in the Loch. This is Counterspell and Terminate, for lack of better description. You can counter target spell with mana value less than or equal to the number of cards in its controller's graveyard, or destroy target creature with mana value less than or equal to the number of cards in its controller's graveyard. We've got a Dreadbore. I call it Drunken Snapcaster Control just because there are, in fact, 3 Snapcasters, whereas all of the other Planeswalkers and such that could actually win you the game are in lower number, although 2 Jace and 2 Teferi is rivaling Esper control for the number of actual Planeswalkers that you're planning to win the game with. There's 1 Narset for some reason. There's 3 Teferis. There's 1 Liliana the Veiled for some reason. There's 2 Force of Negations. The number of blue cards is a little questionable, but I guess by and large we could actually just decide to cast these most of the time. We've got some Kaya's Guiles. We've got a couple of Supreme Verdicts. So this is really, really all over the place. 1 Skyclave Apparition, the 1 Kolaghan's Command. So, I mean, this just looks like a pile. This just looks like a blast. So we're going to take this into a modern queue and see if this sort of vague pile of cards that kind of line up against the metagame maybe can take us to some level of victory. There's been a slight change to the way my setup is, and I'm wondering if I need to edit a little bit to make sure I'm not cutting anything off. There we go. All right. Perfect. Sudden silence, or sorry, suicide silence in the music queue. We could do that for in between matches there, UMAD. My shirt looks weirdly blue on stream, but I assure you it is a gray. Not that it matters to y'all, I would assume. All right. Match the first. Against Brainlet 2. All right. I mean, I've got an amount of mana, and I've got an amount of cards that I could mostly kind of maybe cast. It's actually not true, but we'll see. See if I can shake out. So getting the Raugrin Triome. It totally matters. Only here for the blue shirt. Oh, God. I better go change. Or I could just put a tint on my camera and then every shirt will be blue. Yeah, SD. I'm not entirely sure what the person who constructed this deck was thinking or planning or trying to do. So I guess we're gonna find out as we go along. So I think I want to get a Raugrin Triome here and then just go shock push. No, we'll just get the Raugrin Triome and then pass the turn for now, because they're not going to sack the Bomat Courier this turn. I probably will shock in my land. Well, now I don't need to, but I probably will anyway. Yeah. I have access to Drown in the Loch. Is Roy getting catfished? Ew, ew. Oh, Alex. Alex giving us that zoomer edge here. Geriatric millennial. That is a way to look at that. So snapping off Drown there doesn't feel good, but the fact that my mana can't seem to sort itself out is kind of frustrating. Seal of Fire, that's totally fine. That is a tremendous draw. So that gives me my second white, but it also gives me the ability to play this Lightning Helix. You fool. You're in no shape to run 4 Kilometers. I kind of feel like I'm supposed to just blow away this Bomat Courier before it hits me again. And then if they Thoughtseize me... Yeah, because from here on, it's going to be a lot more difficult to... or potentially a lot more difficult to have the mana up to stop... Or to... What I'm saying, they're going to have the mana up more often from here on to sack their Bomat Courier. So let's get it off the table while we can gain 3 off of the interaction. And then I still have Fatal Push and Skyclave if they play a Death Shadow or Scourge of the Skyclaves here. Oh my god, it's lightning! I don't even know what the coverage sounds like for that moment. In my mind, it's very like WWF or WWE or NWO or whatever they call themselves now. I know when I was a kid they were the WWF, but then the World Wildlife Federation took that over. Yeah, I was wondering that too, Roy, but I think it's because my pause was long enough they probably checked out for half a second. They're just grabbing their Lurrus. Wild. Feels so gaslighted. I mean, this is my Narset. No whammy. Nice. I'll take the fairy. Oh, not a while. I think it was the WWF for most of its lifetime, like until. I mean, not anymore because I think that changeover happened in like the late '90s, but in the early 2000s. I just remember the very first time I saw the World Wildlife Federation logo, and I was like, "Wait a minute, what? What do pandas have to do with wrestling? Are pandas way cooler than I thought?" Oh God, Bromat Courier, zipping in here. In my mind, the Bomat Courier sounds exactly like the pod racing pods. Well, Sebulba's pod racer. Because they all sound different. I enjoyed the two-headed alien that was calling the pod races. That was sick. They shoot my Narset. Interesting choice. Oh, Dylan MTG. I didn't say hi earlier when you first popped in. Hi. Hello. Well, I can't play that Liliana right now, but that's okay. I think. Not sure. You have the Skyclave, though. You built Roman Courier sounding like Guile. I just need a red mana. Listen, I've got the cards. I just need you to unlock them. Gotta help old Bomat Courier. Old Bomat Courier's on his last legs here. Holy jumping. Just when old Bomat gets enough cards to matter, they just, they toss him right away. Jeez. Woof. Okay. Opponent said, if I ask nicely for no verdict one time. Oh, nobody plays that anymore. Smiley face, :D. Opponent says, I hope that's not settle mana. Thought sees me and find out. :D. PTL for verdict. Opponents playing around the settle the wreckage, perhaps. :D is my favorite driving anime. It's way better than Initial D. But not as good as Initial Z. What's up, Steve? Attack for 2? You got it. Jujutsu Kaisen is the best ongoing anime. That's an interesting qualifier. How's this pile? I don't know. It's game 1. Certainly a little awkward color-wise. The only thing I know really about UFC is I looked up what the female fighters in UFC look like after watching the several Wonder Woman movies that have come out recently, and I was like, see, this is the kind of person they should have cast, not Gal Gadot. I mean, Gal Gadot's a fine actress, but like they need to find someone who acts and looks like actually ripped. Lady ripped, but obviously ripped. Hashtag not my Wonder Woman. Also, there's all the other stuff. This deck should run a single exotic orchard. I'm crazy, but I'm not mad. I'm more lukewarm. So the super fun secret of this matchup right now is that my opponent is... Oh, I don't know which side of any debate she's on, Alex. I just know that she's problematic for some people. Yeah, what if you didn't, though? Denied! No, I don't need to block yet. Unless I do just, like, rip the verdict. They get a TBR their Tarmogoyf? Oh, that's beautiful. I was going to push it anyway, so... Push! We played the push. Boink! Oh my god! It's Lightning Helix! And coming in off the top rope, it's Lightning Helix. Whoa, Doctor. Enemy AC 130 and above. That's a high armor class. Even a nat 20 won't hit that shit. It depends on what edition of Dungeons and Dragons you're playing. I do enjoy how the opponent playing so freaking scared around everything so far has given me like 3 turns that I probably don't deserve. Like, I don't know. I feel like if they had gone a little more aggressively in on this, we would have been dead before now. Well, we will be now. Okay, well. Phase 1. So I guess I tuck the Scourge. And then if they kill... They have to swing with both to go after the Teferi. If they can't lose any life... I mean, we've been pretty lucky that they haven't drawn a fetch land or anything yet, so there it is. There's the shock. Yeah, okay. So now they can level up the Hex Drinker and the Death Shadow's now 3/3. So we'll see where we end up after this. One assumes that they'll attack Teferi with both, so I'll just let them hit him. And then I play the second Teferi and tuck the Hex Drinker, and then chump block for second Teferi next turn. Which obviously falls apart if they just like draw a Lightning Bolt or what have you, but it's a plan. Damn it. No, 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 no. Okay, good. Good. Oh, but that's going to be a 6/6 pro everything next turn. That's not fun. That's a little late. Opponent says, show me the secret technology. I said, never. Never! So I could shock that in so that I can play Kolaghan's command to do... Yeah. Right. Opponent said, please, I boarded out all my discard. It's game one. Oh, that was a mistake. I did not think you could click through that like that. Whoops. Anyway, I didn't have anything to play anyway, but representing something was probably a good idea. Oh well. My opponent said they boarded out all their discard. It's game 1. It's an infraction of the Magic tournament rules, opponent. Opponent's apprehension is what I face every time I play Magic. Isn't it so much fun? That's a big snake. That is a very large snake. Well, I think I'm probably going to go to 4 and lose the Teferi. No, they're just pushing for the kill, huh? All right, fair enough. So we have 2 verdicts in the deck. Uh-oh. God damn it. All right. So I made a mistake earlier when I bottomed the verdict. Just strategically, I kind of forgot that Jund Shadow is like a 20 creature deck. And it's just not it's not a matchup where you can expect that they're going to draw a low number of threats. It's weird. It really doesn't feel like I have a particularly good sideboard for this, which makes me think that my main deck is supposed to be pretty good. Sorry, I don't want to cut Jace. I want to cut Force. I don't think their mana base is so shaky that I should be bringing in Cleansing Wildfire. Though I could. How good is Kalitas? I don't know. I don't think it's for this matchup, but I could be wrong. It's just so slow, and the lifelink is unlikely to matter. Anger of the Gods is probably awful because 12 of their creatures are way too big for it. I think so. So to close on the point I was trying to make is during that game I kept it to Teferi, but I bottomed a verdict. And then they played 3 threats out over the next turn, and it was like, oh, right, it's that deck, not GDS that plays like 8 creatures. So I made a tactical mistake drawing from a strategic mistake. My overall strategy was bad and led to a mistake in the momentary tactical choice. Now, we also stalled on lands, but what's up, Larynx Punchworthy? Yeah, so Speeve, this is not my list, but this is someone who's 5-0'd at least twice with something similar, so I thought I would try it out. The the discard Death Shadow cadre is definitely able to stun. Yeah, it's super hot. This deck list is disgustingly hot. It's a beautiful mess, and that's why I wanted to play with it, because I saw that they had 5-0'd twice, and I was like, oh yeah, we got to get in on this. Oh my god, it's Lightning Helix! This puts me to 20, which is great, because then if they have if they have a Scourge of the Skyclaves here, they can't play it. All aboard the spice train. We're headed for the Orient. will sail around the Horn and bring back spices and silks the likes of which ye have never seen. We're building a casino. Arr, can you give me 15 minutes? Oh, you... Opponent's a jerk. All aboard the hype train. Ciao, ciao. We are about to cycle this land, yes. I'm very much about to cycle this land. Unless they give me something to do with any of my cards here. This is the slowest Death Shadow player I think I've ever played against. Kind of unreal. Not gonna lie. You got a 1/1. Well, I guess the question I'm going to put to them is, are you willing to spellbomb yourself to protect this little lad? Oh, they could have Veil of Summer. Let's not say we did. Let's be more mana efficient and just like not try to kill that for now. Yeah, all right. I can be talked into this. Okay. Put one of them into your hand. That one. Put one of them on the bottom of your library. That one. Put one of them in exile. That one. Play that one. Yeah, it's the turn. My colors are so good, I might as well be playing Legacy over here. All right. This it does appear to be an Esper deck that has red tacked on. Although there's enough red cards in it, Roy, that I feel that that's a little flippant. It's a little dismissive of what the deck is to call it just an Esper deck. Because I think the 4 of Expressive Iteration really makes it something a little bit different. Gives it more of a tap out angle. It gives it more of a... I don't know what to say about it. I just... Does that make sense? Like, am I... I think I'm saying something that makes some amount of moist Mardu. Prefer Angry Esper. Is a French deck name? J'espère rouge travail. Le folie du rouge travail. Boop. Just told my opponent I found the card they were looking for. One game too late. Bloody Azorius. Well, it'd be Bloody Esper, right? Bloody Esper. I kind of like Drunken Snapcaster. I'm really tempted to play this or something like it with green so that I can play Iteration and Ren and 6, and that just sounds fun to me. But not yet, obviously.
I have nothing to offer you but my love.
I specifically said no geeks.
It is not,
but
Roy.
My mom says I'm
I know.
cool.
Thanks for the follow there, T-Ness. I'm really tempted to do that, Alex, is play 5-color... No. We start out with 60. You play 5-color Lutri control. 5-color Lutri control, and you play one Ren and 6, one Expressive Iteration. Just play all the medium control cards and see if you can 3-2 a league. That sounds quite fun to me, even though Lutri's kind of garbage now, but theoretically it's still mildly playable. The Lutri decks, the truest victim of the companion rules change and all that nonsense was Lutri. And not just because the nerf hurt the companions, but also because Lutri should get a special stipulation where you can put Lutri in your hand at instant speed. But unfortunately, our little otter friend does not have that. Yeah, I love Lutri, dude. I'm a huge fan of Lutri. I just think Lutri is pretty unplayable now. And Lutri was only questionably playable before. So. Alright, are they going all in on Snack Boy? Please do. Please do. Do it. Do it. Do it. Yes. With each mana you spend, you become more and more my servant. Oh, they stopped short. That's George's dad's move on Seinfeld. Oh, I stopped short. Opponent says, this is merely bolt mana, I swear. And I said, definitely. Nothing is suspicious here, officer. Just your average everyday hex drinker just trying to go around his hex drinker business. Where's my man Devers at? Late as usual. I like this opponent. This opponent is fun loving. Yeah, so I have enough for the drown here. Now, if they have the double veil, then they're gonna get me. But no, they didn't even have the one. Opponent was not bluffing. Good for them. Or sorry, opponent was bluffing. They did not have the veil. I need to draw one of the 80 planeswalkers in this deck. Yeah, I didn't board out my Narsets. I was considering it, but I didn't. And I would really like to draw one. Opponent said, oh lord, my clock. There are 80 planeswalkers? There's more than that. You mean specifically in this deck? No, there's not 80 planeswalkers in this deck. That was very much exaggeration. Hyperbole, sir. I can say without hyperbole that this is 1,000 times worse than all of them. I've been to Vietnam, the Gulf War, and... oh, crap. What was the last thing? I think the last thing is a throwaway joke on that, too. And I can say without hyperbole that this is 1,000 times worse than all of them put together. So, what are you up to there, opponent? You're a jerk. One snappy dresser. Oh, now you veil me. I see. Okay. It's a god-awful card that got popular through a misguided Facebook group. All right. Well, this was something I was sort of asking for earlier. All right. Walius. I have found Walius. Just needed to find one twofer. Give me the good stuff. Give me the bat, Marge. Give me the bat. I don't even care if they see it coming. I do not care if they see that coming. Nice graveyard. I think I'll take it. I guess there's a small downside that because they know it's coming, if they play Lurrus, I have to wait for them to put the next thing on the stack. Okay, sure. I'll take my 3 for 1. So I either can kill the Lurrus and get it exiled, or I have to let them play something out of their graveyard. I think my plan is going to be to let them play something out of their graveyard with the Lurrus. Although, if that's going to be a Tarmogoyf, maybe I really shouldn't. But they have the Nile Spellbomb in play, so I really can't. Yeah. I have to let them play something out of their graveyard. It's going to be like a Tarmogoyf, but there's nothing I can do. I have to let them do this. Getting the Lurrus into, like, just totally out of the picture is just way too important right here. Yeah, that's exactly what I expected. But I get to cast Kaya's Guile with Entwine, which is always fun. Whee! So I'm at 16. And I've got a flyer. My opponent's at 6. Also, the Tarmogoyf is a small lad now. Just a little boy. Just a little goyf. Hey, grilled cheese. Hope everything's going well for you. Ah! There's like 2 lands left in this deck right now. Come on. Don't do me like this, deck. Don't do me like this. It's going to be okay because they're going to draw Thoughtseize and they're going to want to cast it. I mean, you can't let me hold on to whatever this card is. It's too dangerous to live. Kill him. Kill him now. Bolt. Bolt my spirit token. No! No. He was so young. They go Bolt and then they crack the Spellbomb to draw? What? Okay. Whatever. My opponent appears to be taking random game actions. They also shrunk their Goyf there before attacking. Interesting choice. All they need to do is draw a Scourge of the Skyclaves, though, so really, realistically, I'm in big trouble. Okay. Second small Goyf. Good. Good. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Gas. Do you like my car? All right, put one in my hand. That one. Put one on the bottom. That one. Put one into exile. That one. Play that one. Do you like my lands? My lands. My lands. Bam, 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 bam. Little hammer hit. Opponent's at 3. There's one lightning bolt in this deck. They did, Roy. It's been making small waves in Legacy, as it's been making small waves in Modern. They have a card. Trophy the Snap. You got it. How many lands are left in my deck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's actually quite a number. But almost everything else is kind of sick value, so. Opponent's on 0 cards in hand, but I'm on a 3-turn clock from them right now, so it's not the best. Unless they draw Bolt or TBR, then we're just going to die very quickly. Oh, no, 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 no. Eh. Something. Oh, Abundant Harvest? Yeah, that's going to be definitely a card for Modern. I think I'm supposed to kill the Grimflayer. Going to 3 sucks, but letting them stack the top of their deck is definitely also awful. So if we could just finally draw another Planeswalker, that's all I need. I've got so much mana. I just need to draw Teferi or Jace. Basically anything. Also, I'd like them not to draw Bolt. That's pretty good. I think I want to play Snap Iteration here. No, I don't. Snap Drown is just the game win, as long as they don't have anything great. Yeah, I know that's what you meant. I thought that's what I said. Abundant Harvest. I think that card will definitely put in some work in Modern. How much? What particular deck? No idea, but it's definitely going to be something. I'm at 3 against the Lightning Bolt deck. Did they find Lightning Bolt? Yeah. Fuck. God damn it. That was so rough. We just drew lands a couple too many times at the end there. Oh no. Man, we were going to be set for life. The previous iteration hitting 2 lands and 1 spell was not good enough, but that's okay. Jund Shadow was one of the best decks in the format recently, and it will be again, so no, there's nothing to be sad about, Roy. Like, opponent drew slightly hotter than we did, but our pile of jank almost won that game, and that's pretty incredible. The fact that we have basically no sideboard for that matchup feels awkward, or at least no sideboard as far as what I can read. Made it, obviously not as easy. Oh, you're sad about the lag, sure. Jund Shadow will rise again.
It's all over, people. We don't have a prayer.
Opponent Lone Cubone. That's a great name. Man, this hand sucks, huh? Another Luris deck. This hand is actually okay against the Luris deck. I'm going to keep it and just hope I start ripping blue sources. And by blue sources, I mean a blue source is literally all I need. So I'm just going to hope that they're on a discard deck and that I'm going to be lucky. We could play Push and Kaya's Guile already, so we're in a reasonable spot. Still sore from yesterday. Biking like 20-something miles and then... Oh, okay. It's this kind of Luris deck. And by this kind, I'm not sure, but not one that's full of discard spells. White Luris decks are generally less threatening to me. Oh my. Oh, it's just hammer time, I think. All right, deck. Quit screwing around. You screw around too much. But do we have opponent? Getting their Luris? Wild. And Island. Rats. That is the worst. That was the worst draw. Admittedly, I kept a risky hand. But still feels bad to miss like that. Oh no, they could play. Oh, they can't play Luris and the Giver. Okay, Luris into nothing. I love that for you. That's a great look opponent. Each opponent sacks a creature. Create a spirit. Boing. Are you ready, kids? Bye, nerd. What you going to do? Veil me? You can't do it. You'd cast it to no avail. Ugh. I got you on this one, Alex. Oh. That's it. That's all you get. I guess I'm about to find out if this is green-white infect when they go pump spell, kill you. Oh my god, is it? No. Okay, they hit me for 6. Yikes. Well, there that is. Late, but not too late. You got it. Sure. No blocks. Thank you, Roy. I'm wise in the ways of playing against Infect, and I have you to thank for that. Get out of here. All right, then. So, I have Snap Push here. But I'm not doing it until combat. Or I guess I have Snap Helix, but that's more expensive. I guess I could play Iteration, but I have to hit a blue source in order to make that a way that I can survive. And I've got Snap Helix and Snap Push available on consecutive turns. So we should be okay here. Along with the blockers. Because since they're not playing blue, Distortion Strike or anything similar to that is not... I'm not concerned. So as long as I have blockers, I have time. I'm assuming what they'll do is boot up their Nexus, attack with both. Then I'm going to play Snap, target my Lightning Helix, and go block, block. At which point they will have to pump one of them. Maybe they're playing Path instead of Evasion spells. They could be. They could be. That should still work out okay here. We'll see. They pump pre-combat. That is a very strange look. They Rancor. Okay. Well, now if they have a protection spell, I'm just going to die. It doesn't matter. So, yeah. All right. Rancor, I was not expecting. They usually do not play ways to give things trample anymore. But oh, but they're gonna be able to. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I double made mistakes there. Luckily, it didn't matter. But the way I did that was wrong. I should have let that go on. I should have let them attack and then done that, because the way I did. Oh no, the Rancor was on the stack, which meant it would have been countered permanently. No, I did that right. I was thinking it was going to come back to their hand because of the way I did that, but that's not true. So get that Cleansing Wildfires in. I don't. Yeah, actually, I probably want all discard on deck here. And Liliana. I'm bringing Cleansing Wildfires for the lands. Verdict is probably unnecessary. Teferi's fantastic. Force is probably unnecessary. Skyclave is definitely pretty poor. I think I want to cut an iteration or two. And maybe Narset. Big Teferi is maybe too slow. I mean, the whole deck is too slow if what you're concerned about is how fast we're winning. My thought is all I need to do is sort of survive their initial salvo, and then as soon as I play any 3, 4, or 5 mana spell in this deck, we basically win. That's the thought. I mean, yeah, we could cut it to Teferi, but then the problem is if I cut too many of the Jaces to Fairies and such, then it just becomes like I don't have enough stuff to just like win the game. So then we end up just sitting around once we've killed all their creatures, not being able to make any forward progress. Cut the Dreadbore, bring back the other iteration. The soothing sounds of Ron McLean until he realized it was more the soothing absence of Don Cherry. Yeah. Yeah. Well, our colors are a lot better this game. That hand is suicide. That hand is not suicide. This is a good goddamn hand. Thank you, deck. Thank you. Put them all to 5? Excellent. Look how perfect their hand is.
Yoink!
God damn it, Rusip. Why do you make my life so complete? Something about the Rusip emote too makes me hear that straw sucking on air sound. The Yeah, this will work. We know. I think we know everything. Well, we can only bounce it if they don't play the vines, but if they play the vines, then there's basically no possible way they can kill me. So this should waste a number of their resources here. Yeah. Well, they can't play the vines on the Tef bounce. They have to play it proactively. They have to play it before I do anything, which is totally fine. Because now we just go plus to fairy past the turn. They have 2 cards in hand. It's almost impossible for them to kill me here. If they do, by some incredible miracle, then we were destined to lose this game. Like, yes, I could have... we were destined to lose this game. See? Nonsense. That's total nonsense. Multifies... Multiply thoughts... We did not do what we could, by the way. I could have killed the Glistener Elf on that turn. I could have played Lightning Bolt, Drown in the Loch, and 100% locked myself in for that game. But I thought, oh, well, yeah, it's better to play the Fairy. We'll be in so much of a better position. They have to waste the Vines of Vastwood. Oh my god, it feels so good to have them in this shitty situation. And they just top-decked everything. So we did not do what we could there. I knew in my brain that that could have happened. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. We could have done all of that, but no, we could cast Bolt and Drown. But I just wasn't expecting them to draw 10 points of damage in a hand that had 0. Yes, no problem. It's just like, that was such a shame. What a stupid way to lose a game. But don't do that, folks. Do what I thought of doing, what I should have said that I wanted to do there, and don't lose like a scrub. That things like that right there. That's why I don't have more trophies, because I constantly make mistakes like that. All right. Keep that in the dark. It's a little slow, but this whole deck is a little slow. Then Obosh, it is. So probably a Blood Moon deck, but it might be the other Blood Moon deck. So we'll see when they lead on Elf or... Yeah, okay. So this is the Emrakul deck with Luca. This actually might be really, really bad. Oh, no. We top decked something that helps us. Good. Well done, deck. Well done. No turn 2 Blood Moons. To put Sprawl on their non-basic. So I guess they're telling me that they don't have a Blood Moon in their hand? I mean, I don't have a plan if they do. So I'm pretty sure I'm just playing Narset, which requires another blue. And I want double white. No, I prefer double black. Yeah. No, I prefer double white. You can actually wrath a. Oh, but I can't get that. Can't get my Hallowed Fountain here. So let's just get double black. We have a lot of answers for a potential Emrakul, so like a lot. Kaya's Guile in hand, Lily on the Veil, Supreme Verdicts. Speak of the devil. Bone Crusher. Right. Bolt plus Bone Crusher? Sure. Wood Elves, okay. Alright, see you, Robert. So because they know about the Liliana, I'm just going to play it out here, edict their Wood Elves. And then if they have Luca next turn, they could play Luca plus a 1-drop, but the 1-drop won't immediately become an Emrakul necessarily, unless they get crazy lucky. I do need to make sure I can keep their number of creatures pretty low. If one of the last cards in their hand is Lightning Bolt here, then Liliana is just going to start eating them alive. Sorry, if it wasn't Lightning Bolt. But even if it is, I'm not really worried about it. They bolted me? It's a very strange choice. Whoa. Pillage. Yikes. Well, good thing we have this iteration. So put one in my hand. Planes. Shit, can I? I can. Wait, what? Oh, apparently you... Oh, okay. You can switch it. Interesting. So put the Teferi in my hand. Yeah. Oh, but I have to play one of these, huh? The hell? Uh... All right, my card disappeared. That's fun. Sorry, got to take a screenshot for reimbursement purposes. Let's take a bigger one. Well, that's fun. All right, it'll be fine. Plus Liliana, Scarred, Jace. Jeez, that was rough. Opponent discards. Seasoned Pyromancer. Crazy. You crazy, Jesus? You crazy? Plays nothing. Wild. No, they'll play the Bone Crusher and yeah. Oh, Arbrail. Sure. Now Bone Crusher. Okay. So if I draw a land, I can go. Oh no, I have a Kai's Guile. Okay, so I can wipe their board here. Huh. Yeah. All right. Although, maybe. Wait, what? Oh, that is not what I meant to do. I waffled on modes and I screwed myself. Gosh, we're just punt city this league. All right. Okay. You there, sack a creature. Jeez. Well, if they top deck the Luca, we can at least get rid of the Emrakul. So I'm not super concerned. Although I'm out of extra answers now, so. Okay, good. Jeez. Is not playing the greatest over here today. So I just so distracted by expressive iteration eating a card. My Teferi's just gone. Should be in my hand right now. No Teferi, just gone. No reason for it. Just doesn't exist anymore. They get their Obosh. That's terrifying. So I have Snap Kaya's Guile, which will get rid of the Bone Crusher and give me another blocker, but oh god. I don't have any point removal in my graveyard. Well, that's probably game over. Yeah. Well. I was surprised they hadn't found a Magus yet. Or Blood Moon yet. So I guess I'm just lucky it took them this long. I mean, we could draw the one Lightning Bolt in this deck. So we're not out of it, but certainly looking god-awful. And again, like we should have had a Teferi Hero of Dominaria in our hand there to cast that turn. We didn't because game just bugged. So that's fun. All right. That works. I'll take it. Because their Sprawl was on the Stomping Ground, they now don't have enough mana to cast the Obosh. Better lucky than good, opponent. Better lucky than good. What a ludicrous game. What a tangled web we weave. I'll tell you, even though we haven't even won a game yet, technically, with this deck, I'm having a good time playing it. This is just a wonderful mess. All right. That's a draw. Putting the hurt on him. Oh, yeah. Rats. Well, here comes the Obosh. That's a big boy. See, why couldn't you draw like this against the other deck? I mean, I know you tried in game 2 against Infect, but... Yeah, you can have a Luca. What did they get? They exiled these 3? So they have Magus of the Moon on deck? Luckily, I drew a backup to Fairy. So they can go get Emrakul if they want to, but it's not going to matter. So we got really lucky in this one to make up for how unlucky we were in all the other ones. I guess if they have a Lightning Bolt again, they'll be okay here. So we'll see. Although, in theory, if they get an Emrakul and then attack with it, I could win on the crackback. So we'll see. Do it. Yep. You got it. Without a lightning bolt, it won't matter much, opponent. You must have the bolt. Oh, that is definitely a thing I could have done there, Alex, but I'm just going to do it this way. Sprawling. See ya. Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff. Hold on, I need an innocent gun after that one. I know I got a sideboard. You know what time it is? Adventure time? Okay, Angry Gods, yes. Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes? I think the Inquisition over the Thoughtseize is probably fine. Don't need forces. Some vocal memories good, but then again some vocal like Cletus the slack guardian go.
Hey, what's going on this side?
Hey, Brandine, found these boots that you could wear to your interview. Scuff up the runway of the topless dancing bar? Nah, you best take 'em back from where you got 'em. Here you go, boots, to wait for a lady of less discriminating taste. Yeah, Freed, you're probably right. Now you say fix my mana. What basics am I playing? 1 island, 1 plains, 1 swamp. Yeah, and I didn't need the Force of Negations here. Well, this hand is pretty okay to start with. Hopefully I can find 1 more land. Tie the room together. Boop! Right on the nose. I am having fun playing this. We're mostly losing so far, but it's right up my alley. Holy crap. Well, I'm glad I dodged all that. So they have double bolt. Luckily, we dodged the pillage. Unfortunately, if I don't draw land, I'm in big trouble. Okay, that's not concerning. So their hand is just 2 bolts right now. So we got to draw land, but other than that, we'll be okay. Oh, they're grabbing the Obosh. Oh, crap. Yipes! Just here to see the iteration hits. Well, you should know that iteration does appear to be bugged. In the last game... Shit. What, are we on 25 lands? 24. Jeez, 24 is never enough these days, man. 24, I consistently keep 2 landers on the draw and don't see the 3rd land. It's crazy. Man, this is so bad. Because of the Arbor Elf, I basically am dead on board. Because I'm going to take 6/6/6. Jesus. Yeah. I did screw up my sideboarding here. And luckily I didn't draw any of the cards that I sideboarded in, so doesn't matter. So I'll just fix it now. How's it bugged? So when you play it, the first prompt is choose a card that you're going to put in your hand. So you choose the card. It goes in your hand. If you press Control-Z at that point, what happened to me was the card went from my hand back into the pile, but it still was asking, and then it said choose a card, but only that card was highlighted in green. And so I clicked on it, and then it just disappeared. And then I had to put a card in exile, and then I had to put a card on the bottom. Or whatever order you do it. Yeah, Force of Negation is no good. Skyclave is also probably a bit ambitious. And that gives me the room for the Cleansing Wildfires. So Cleansing Wildfire we can use to get a white, blue, or red, or white, blue, or black, and then, okay, I see. Probably want the Brutality or the Negate here too. That's fine. Playing the Showcase tomorrow? What is the Showcase? I was going to play a challenge tomorrow, but I don't know what the Showcase is. I'm also pretty sure I don't have QPs for it, so if it's something where I could be using QPs, I probably won't. Modern Showcase Challenge, okay. Is there a regular challenge, or is it just the Showcase Challenge? I don't have the QPs, it looks like. I wasn't farming them hard. Yeah, I don't. I'm not going to be able to get 15 in one night, most likely, so. Yeah, I think I'm recording the podcast on Sunday, though. So I think I might have to take a weekend off of challenges, which is kind of sucky. Opponent's taking a while to get into game 2 here. All right. That's a hand. Okay. So, fuck. Do I have to play around the pillage? I don't want to have to play around the pillage. But I have to with this hand. All right. Well, see, now that's what I wanted to fetch, but I think there's 2 of them in this deck. So. There are. Okay. I'm going to pretend I have a plan. Savers finally spiked in paper. Yes. I bought mine yesterday. Or 2 days ago. Reasonably recently. I think I got in right under the line. Arbor Elf and... Arbor Elf. Okay. Thanks a lot, Nana! Wait, are you actually authentically thanking me because that was good for you, or what's happening here? I'm not good at this. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. Yeah. I got you. It's an older meme, Freed, but it checks out. It's one of my favorite super obscure but like completely relevant modern style things of a Star Wars parody of a phrase. It's an older meme, sir, but it checks out. I was about to laugh. Did they send a meme? That's what your setup needs. Oh, the meme sub, but what are you thinking, opponent? What are you? There was a pillage. Everything's ruined forever. Well, when they didn't play it on the previous turn, I thought I was safe. So I think what I'm supposed to do here is drown the Arbor Elf, because Lightning Bolt can be cast if they have a Magus. That's the dream. The downside of this is it's fairly unlikely. Well, if I can cast this Expressive Iteration, then maybe we have somewhere to go. But we'll see. Hi, bra guy. We're playing a UMAD's Shape a New deck next with Blightsteel Colossus. Perfect. They needle to Fairy. That's a good draw. Thanks to this. Thanks to the Magus, I can play this and play the Wildfire. Opponent said, "You've just got it all." Sure do, opponent. I just ordered and picked up ramen, totally forgetting you can't eat soy sauce. Ordered the correct noodle type, but got the wrong broth. Is your gluten allergy, sensitivity, whatever you want to call it, is it that severe? Because there's not that much in the soy sauce, I don't think. But maybe I'm wrong. Unclear. Yeah. I don't think Brian's celiac, but I think it's certainly uncomfortable. I mean, the podcast is not till Sunday. You could be sick as a dog tomorrow if you want to test. But it's up to you, my friend. I made some kick-ass burgers. You want one? I don't have any gluten-free buns, but I do have lettuce and chipotle mayo. What's the podcast topic? I don't know. You're an ash, opponent. Do you need a West Asian politics specialist? I mean, does anyone? Or is he mad? I don't know. He was here earlier. I'm sure he'll show up in time for his deck. Express yourself. What are you looking at? So I put the fairy in my hand. Fairy on the bottom. Godless Shrine into exile. Nope. Bing 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 dee 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 dee. Strike oppose. This week we will talk about playing Magic in Qatar. Is it Qatar or Qatar? Because I've heard both. And I assume it's some kind of regional thing, but... He was gonna send it to Doomwake first, so don't worry, freak. I'm already the B list. I've heard it both ways from people there. Got it. So what I really need to have here is more blue and white, which I can do with Hallowed Fountain. And I don't care how many people constantly mispronounce it. It's Hallowed Fountain, not Hollowed Fountain. Hallowed Fountain. Even the professor gets it wrong, which is mind melting to me. Big Daddy Tef, Papa Bear. I agree with you, Freed. You did ask me last night. You did. I was already full up last night, so with the decks that I had just planned to play and decided to play. But clearly I should have played your deck because the decks I played last night were generally not super memorable or good. So they played a Wood Elves instead of an Obage. You got it. Aw. Thanks, buddy. So do I Inquisition their Obosh? Something tells me that's not a good plan. Was this missing a Deploy the Gatewatch? Somehow I don't think so, but... You know what this deck is really missing? Uro. And the color green, but you know. They have the Obosh in their hand, right? Do they realize it would make the Wood Elves do enough damage here to kill my Teferi 3? Or are they just being sloppy and lazy for no good reason? Yeah, you can hit my Teferi for a 1. It's a very interesting tactic. I'm not sure what my opponent's trying to do with it. So it's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how this plays out. Get out of here, you little nerd. It's a black day for baseball. Yeah, so Brian, we're just covering those cards tomorrow, right? As probably the last episode before Modern Horizons 2. Sorry, not tomorrow, on Sunday. Before the last episode before Modern Horizons 2 comes out, we'll just cover the bulk of here's all the way people cheat stuff into play. And call the episode The Mamas and the Papas. I don't think we have to do that. But it was a name of a popular 1970s band, which is apparently very incestuous. All the leaves are brown, and the sky is gray. They had a song in the hit movie Forrest Gump, as well as, 30, 40 years before. You've been working on your Sultai Rogue list for challenges this weekend. Nice, dude. Sultai Rogues. The saltiest of rogues. I do like some rogue salt. Rogue salt. Ah, Bruno Miniero. Rouge is color, rogue is profession. Oh, I'm aware of that. Yeah, the flash style of like the Drago flash tempo control deck. Only non-flash guys are Death Shadow and Tarmogoyf. So you're playing 4-color Shadow? Because that deck used to play Shadows, Tarmogoyfs, and Snapcasters. And sometimes Grim Flare. Yeah, so I with the showcase challenge and everything tomorrow, looks like I won't be playing a challenge tomorrow, so I'll just stream tomorrow night and probably Sunday night too. So don't expect me on in the morning. Scourge is not playable in challenges. He's fine in leagues. Interesting. Do you have more to say about that? But I think this hand is unkeepable. That is better. Scourge is not playable in challenges, fine in leagues. Really? What makes you say that? Because I feel like between prowess and people still being afraid of things like Heliod and like almost anything is, yeah. Okay. Oh, it's not because of the hate cards. It's about Heliod and prowess. Yeah. Because the metagame is so focused. Although Heliod has not been doing well and has not been popular for any size event. So I'm just leaving this in play for now. Which means I should have played the Watery Grave or the Scalding Tarn there so I could drown. What's up, Herd of Meese? Meeses? Do you prefer? I don't know. Unlimited power! Fairy. So they're playing Jund. They're not playing Luris, so they're probably playing Bloodbraid Elf. So I'm going to plus the Teferi. If they play Bloodbraid Elf here for full value, get no card off of it, smack my Teferi, I don't really care. Now I have a Fatal Push and a Drown to defend it, so let's go ahead and draw the card. And I have a backup one anyway. Yikes. Well, we got some good-ish answers. Okay, I'll hold on to this in case I need the push. Jace, the Mind Sculptor. And I will plus Bloodbraid. No, you can keep that. Share and enjoy. Share and enjoy. Share and enjoy. Journey through life with a plastic boy or girl by your side. Let your pal be your guide. When it breaks down and starts to annoy, or grinds when it moves and gives you no joy, 'cause it's something up in your hat and it's sex with your cat, just send it to us. We won't give a fig. We'll tell you. Go stick your head in a pig. For anyone who's curious, that was the jingle of the complaints department from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy of it's the Sirius Cybernetics Corporation, I think. No. Bad Bloodbraid. Esper 4-color out here just giving Jun the business. Yeah, I don't need that right now. Eh. My life total's fine. Holy crap. What a hand. No. Ah, stupid lag. I'm no Spike, but I do spend hours a day to try and brew decent decks. Well, you could be a Spike rogue then, you mad. This deck looks like it loses to its own mana base about as much as it loses to other players. But that's dope as hell. Yeah, it's been a neat experience playing this. You'd be a Spike if you didn't punt so often. Well, so it's interesting you're all using the terminology, because so I've listened to every episode of Drive to Work, I think probably twice on average. And for whatever reason, Marco Rosewater has done a lot of wonderful work for Magic. And the psychographics are certainly some of that. And I think that without actually ever having listened to what he has said about them, people misunderstand what they are. And what they mean. Because he's fairly specific and nicely detailed about what exactly he means with them. And the point of the Spike is a person whose primary drive to play Magic is basically like game mastery, both from the perspective of like being a really great player in a technical sense, and being great at deck building, and being great for deck building for the purposes of winning, and the meta game, like deck selection. Those are all the things where someone, and obviously you can be more or less enthusiastic or talented at any part of those individually, but the point is that you could be a Spike at anything. You could be a Spike about trivia. You could be someone who just like goes and reads trivia endlessly before you play Trivial Pursuit with your family in a casual atmosphere, just because you like to I don't know, show dominance or whatever is usually the terminology he uses there for at anything that you do. So yeah. But that's the thing, is like that's where their, I don't know, ego kick comes from or whatever. Well, we're gonna see some spice in a minute, but if you have more spice to show us, you mad, I'm sure we'd all be happy to see it. Whereas I have a lot more Timmy and empathy for the Timmys of the world than I thought when I was younger. When I first heard about the psychographics and I first had my personal impressions on them, I thought like, oh, Timmy, what a goofy way to play a game. But it turns out that I think I have a lot more Timmy in me than I thought. And Johnny. I knew when I was a teenager, I was like very much the Johnny Spike. I was trying to make these interesting decks that were also quite good. But the Timmy part of me, especially when it comes to paper, is a big deal. Just the experience of playing the Magic is just bomb. Hushbringer, Young Pyromancer, Hunted Horror, Kroxa. Oh yeah, I've seen these decks before. Torpor Orb, it's got everything. I would caution you against playing 4 Torpor Orbs and 4 Hushbringers. Unless you actually think that those are reasonable cards to play in the metagame at large. Because Kroxa is a reasonable card on its own. You don't need to bend yourself backwards to make Kroxa playable. So, I think unless you have more payoffs than just Kroxa. Yeah, Timmy wants to have fun just doing what he do. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons that, like, I like to play control-ish decks, but I want my controlling deck to do something spectacular. Straight blue-white, I can play that, enough. It's fine. But I very quickly grow tired of just grinding out leagues with blue-white control. Because there's just no fun to be had with it for the most part. It's just very Wonder Bread. Well, that sucks out loud. Okay. Put that in my hand. Put that on the bottom. Put that into exile. Jeez. It's not really what we were looking to do there. Opponent said greedy mana base ... I said not even a little : D. Oh, Wonder Boy is a great song. Okay. It's not really what I wanted to draw, but we can still play the Lightning Helix on the Blood Braid. Go to 16, then take 6. No, we're going to be adding an instant, so we're going to take 8. Okay. Oh no, I was already thinking about that, Freak. Don't worry. I'm way ahead of you, buddy. I'm way ahead of you. So I think I have to Helix the Liliana and hope that now I draw. Jesus, I made a mistake there. Didn't realize I was going to go to 2 for that. Jeez. We're playing 24 lands, and I played an Expressive Iteration this game. Nonsense. Total nonsense. But don't worry, Freak. I'm already working on it. No, I agree with you, Georgie boy. It's this mana base is incredibly greedy. But in terms of pure numbers, which was the bigger problem in that game, like that was just stupidly unlucky. Like playing 24 lands, couldn't hit the 4th land, couldn't hit the 4th land again, played Expressive Iteration, hit 0 lands. Well, how's it going there, Phoenix? Franz is a great thing to call friends. I also enjoy Franz because I think of my friends as a group of willowy, green, sometimes semi-transparent plant life. They're not, but I think of them that way. Seven hours of just leagues? Holy shit, you mad. You can't trade qualifier points though, right? I don't think you can. I think they're bound to accounts. I'd be willing to take them and I'd be willing to play, but I honestly don't. I don't think that that's something that you can do. Someone's setting off big ass fireworks. I can hear and smell them. Gunpowder. Well, one of the things I'll remind you of, Phoenix, and this has happened to me multiple times. I've been playing Magic long enough. I feel like I have like a sixth sense. There's this little niggling feeling that comes when I'm playing a deck in a format that I know, that I'm like, this is really powerful. And with mono green Karn devotion thing in Pioneer, it happened to me with that, and it happened to me with the Lorehold deck, where I started, what the fuck? Oh my god. Okay. So anyway, it happened to me with those two decks semi-recently, where I played them, and I went, wow, this deck is super powerful. And even though sometimes I would, in the week leading up to whatever tournament I wanted to play, sometimes like the last league I played before the tournament was like a 2-3. And I'm like, oh, maybe this deck is not that good. And it's like, no, trust yourself. And I think the Lorehold deck is one of those decks where it's just like, it's just so good that, like, don't even trip if the last league you play before an event, like, if you think you've got the reps, if you think you have the practice, if you believe in the deck, then just roll with it. Right, but the thing is, if it didn't like you today, and this is a stupid, non-real argument, but if it didn't like you today, then theoretically, this is gambler's fallacy, full disclosure, then maybe it's like it's more likely to like you tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, do not take that as clear, exacting advice of anything, but even the best decks have off leagues. Exactly. Like, when you really look at what you're doing, in the context of whatever format you're playing, it's like, just roll it back, just run it back, and you'll be fine. Can't believe I got freaking 3-for-1 by Shatter Assumptions. Bounce the Goyf. So they can use Dark Confidant to attack down my Jace. Then I can use Teferi 3 to bounce their Goyf. They drew Swamp. Yeah. Well, like, in round 2 of this league, we played against Infect, and I died on turn 3 in game 2 in a situation that was like 0% to happen. And I could have played around it, but I just didn't. I was like, oh, we'll be fine. And then we weren't. And it's like, you know what? It happens. Don't worry about it. Opponent said ops. I don't know if they're oopsing like, oh, I can't believe you let your Jace die, or what, but whatever. Yeah. And remember, with the Lorehold deck, like, if you go to play it in a challenge, if you play against nothing but blue-red prowess, there's a reasonable shot you're just gonna lose. And that's okay. Like, it's fine. If you hit nothing but prowess, you might lose. Or you might run really hot like I did in the Super Qualifier, and you might beat prowess 2 out of 3 times. It can happen. Prowess is the Delver of Modern. If they run hot, you are never beating them. If it's a medium skill player and they draw sort of medium and you draw sort of great, you can beat them. It's not a ringing endorsement of any deck, but I really don't think there is a deck. They drew a Bloodbraid. I don't think any deck in this format... Yeah, you take your free wins against Titan and Greentron, you'd be very, very happy. Exactly. That's a great way to look at it. You have free wins against a bunch of the better decks in the format. I have heard back from multiple players of different control decks where they're going like, hey, I've been playing control in Modern, and how do I beat your Velomachus deck? And I go, oh, I can tell you what my plan is on the side of the Velomachus deck. I don't know how you beat that on the control deck other than just draw really well. Just draw really well. That's it. Well, I mean, it's fine. Yeah, this is fine. I'm not thrilled about it, but this is fine. Yeah, see, I have a really good win rate against Titan with that deck. Like, preposterously good. So, I know they have Bloodbraid in their hand. So they're going to play Bloodbraid plus Dark Confidant. I have 2 free mana coming to me this turn. So I guess I can go to Fairy, and then I have Snap Helix up on their turn. All right. I mean, it's not stressful once you're used to it. So let's play the Fresh to Fairy. But I will 100% say, like, for the first little while, I made a lot more punts. And I still make more punts than I would if I wasn't streaming. So you mad? I mean, the problem I have with online play when I'm not streaming is that whenever my opponent starts tanking, I tend to check out of the game, and it's really not good. It's just not good. As far as I know, I don't have ADD or ADHD, it's hyperactive cousin or anything similar to that, or, you know, but there's something about paper play, especially in tournaments, where it's just like so focused and you're in the room and there's that hum. There's that hum of that tournament sort of noise. You hear other matches, but you're not listening to them. Yeah, and you just don't get that online. And it's just a lot harder for me to focus. But streaming, I kind of find actually helps, because every time there's a sort of break in the action in the game, I hang that up for a second and I interact with chat, and then I sort of they start layering over each other once you get good at it. I was lucky for the first little while that I didn't feel like I needed to engage with chat very intensely or deeply or constantly, because the only one who was here was Roy, who was my good friend, you know, in real life. And so I got used to playing and having a small audience, and then, you know, you build it up as a skill. You were not here from the beginning, Alex, but you were pretty close along. Then you come back to the game and see mainboard Necromantia. Was that what happened to Spike earlier today? I saw he put up a screenshot of himself getting Necromantia, but he said like mistakes were made, and they had named Tybalt Cosmic Imposter, which is obviously not a card you can hit. I'll be back in 1 second. All right. Yeah. So we got 3 for 1 Shatter Assumption there, and we won anyway. Feels good, man. Oh, you mad? That's kind. I wouldn't call anything that I have online major, so... But I think the level of success that you and I have online, like top 16s and top 20s, and like, well, top 16 to 32 in a modern challenge, I mean, that is a damn reasonable level of play. Oh, you guys. I started doing thumbnails for my YouTube. I don't know if it means anything to anyone, but it's reasonably easy for me to do, so I'm going to keep doing it for now. Still trying to figure out formatting for OBS. It takes a while. I mean, you can go back and see my early streams. And hey, how's it going, Hans? You think they look good? Nice. I think some of them look better than others. 8% beer, have a punch. Nice. What is the percentage of this beer that I'm having? I want to say it's 6. This is Innocent Gun Irish Whiskey Barrel Stout. And I want to say it's 6%. 6.1. Nailed it. You were jackboxing with friends? I heard good things about that. All right, we'll keep this on the draw. I tried having friends once. It was a lot of work. Didn't seem worth. So I ditched that pretty quickly. Roy stuck around, not really sure why. He just sort of does that. All right, I think... Okay, now I don't have to fetch shock. Good. Good. Let's get my snow-covered swamp. Not seize. Sprawl! I got a little more ambitious with this thumbnail, color-wise. I'm pretty happy with it, though. Definitely the image is fine. The colors around the edge, I went a little nuts on those. But I'm pretty happy with it. Ah. I see. Do I see? Well, they're going to play Opt. So I guess we'll take the Drown. Now, Drown is easy enough to play around for us. Just take the Archmage's Charm. Well, don't assume that the match tracker is going to stop people from asking you what the record is. Just watch your YouTube League with the Jeskai Breach Sword combo. Have I went back to the Jeskai Underworld Breach deck? Do you mean Thopter Sword, or do you mean the one I played last night, you mad? Yeah, they definitely have felt like a quality of life improvement more than anything else. Freak. One of the things is, and I hate to keep harping on this, but I mean, my inspiration for getting into doing what I do and how I do it was just the sheer volume and commitment to the product that Jeff Hoagland put forth. And I know people have all sorts of different opinions about him, and that's fine. I don't care. But my point was just in terms of an absolute just volume, it would be like 3 to 5 leagues of Pioneer and Modern per day, every weekday for months on end. I mean, just the volume of content was such a contribution to anyone who was interested in Modern, almost any deck, at quite a reasonable sort of performance level. I am one of those people that, yeah, that's what I meant by performance level. I hope I didn't missay that too much, but yeah, but that was the point, is that I'm a person who, I have that bad artist's habit of saying like, oh, I don't want to advertise. Advertising means my product's not good enough to stand on its own and for people to discover it all on their own. I'm only a real, geez, that is a really crappy draw. No, but my point is that I feel like a lot of artists get into this weird headspace, and I'm totally guilty of it. Maybe it's from being one of the unpopular kids. Sorry. Put Teferi in my hand, put Dreadbore in exile, because I don't need to see that ever again, and put Kaiska on the bottom. So that's stuck, because I'm not going to get to cast it. The point is, yeah, the point is the sellout. Yeah, the sellout is the thing that the group of people I'm referring to object to. You don't want to be a sellout. You can't be a sellout. Being a sellout is the worst possible thing. Be anything, but don't be a sellout. My God. And the truth of the matter is, like, no, advertising just means that you think what you do is good. That's all it means. That's all that means. Well, you say hipster music bullshit, but I don't know. I mean, it came from sort of being a metal fan and being someone who was like kind of a counterculture person, not like a deep counterculture person. But the truth of the matter is, if you ever actually offered me money for work I could do, I would sell out immediately. And so it's like, well then, if and I didn't really come to good terms with it until I read or listened to a speech from Schwarzenegger, who for whatever reason is one of my role-ish models. Basically, it just came down to, well, advertise if you believe in what you do. If you think what you're doing is worth doing, then advertise it. And if you're not willing to advertise it, then there's probably something wrong with what you're doing. Like, you don't believe in it enough, so stop. Or stop, like, just bullshitting and get your crap together and be comfortable with advertising, because that's the way the world works. You need to get these, like, people aren't just magically going to find your thing, and even if they do, that's often not good enough. All right, so what the hell? I have no idea what kind of proactive things they're going to try to do. I don't feel like just jamming a Teferi into the darkness here. I cast my Teferi against the darkness. You do like how Hoagland picks and chooses what he advertised? Yeah, for sure. I mean, I love that man. It has sort of credibility. He says, I will not advertise anything that I don't believe in, and I believe that that is true because of the way he talks about the things he does not believe in. Well, and again, I don't think you have to tell as many people as possible, but I think you can pick and choose. So, like, for example, in the earlier time on my stream here, I was doing a lot of Urza content, and I found one or two Facebook groups and like a Discord, and when I thought I had a really good league, or I was doing a deck that was interesting or what have you, I would go and tell them, like, hey, I recorded a YouTube video. Here it is. You know? All right. Grey Ogre. You'll never win now, opponent. I've got a Grey Ogre. What do you have? Okay. Opponent and I were staring at each other and failing to cast counter magic for so long that my opponent forgot how their cards work. Don't worry, I'm the only one who saw that. That and the 30 people in my stream. It's not that they forgot to. They forgot that it needed Revolt there. They just thought Fatal Push would kill my Grey Ogre. Yeah, I mean, for indie developers, I mean, I can't even imagine how brutal it is. That sounds... Yeah. And I mean, he's a person who's very clear when he says, like, don't try to be who I ended up being. And not that I am in terms of success level, but he's like, don't try to be who I ended up being, because that was only possible from an incredibly specific, like, coalescing of factors. He decided to start streaming exactly when another big personality stopped streaming. I decided to start streaming when I already had some clout. I decided to start streaming, etc., etc., etc. Like, oh, okay. Well, opponent's on one card in hand, so that's not too bad. Yeah, you got to be lucky as well. Man, I mistapped. I could have Fatal Push mana open here. Not that it's likely to be relevant, but... All right, what's your last card in hand? If it's a good one, I am in trouble. Nope. Excellent. Be a hot tub streamer? I don't think I'm hot enough to be perfectly blunt about the point. I could work on it. I am at some point soon, and because I'm waffling on it, maybe it's never going to happen, but I would like people to hold me to it. I want to start a cutting month where I just tighten up my diet and tighten up my exercise a bit. The MTG fitness hashtag whatever nonsense bloody blue conglomeration is no, not cryptic. Keep tapping. Oh. Well, that sucks. Anyway, that goes on the bottom. This one goes in exile. Where was I? Oh, the MTG fitness. So that, I mean, it's a bit of a joke, but like, I don't know, make it more of a thing for myself for a month or so. It's easy enough. See if I can get really shredded in a month or two. I've got the exercise going. I just need to stop drinking quite so much. But liquor is so delicious. Bodybuilding, black hymn to Torok, confirmed on MH2 by God. Wait, what? Wait, what? You're not serious. Oh, you're joking about the BB. Got it. I see. Yeah, it's no problem, Sam. It's just like when Counterspell was spoiled, it seemed like it was a joke. When, I don't know, like, at this point with Modern Horizons 2, it's like one of those things where I'm like, yeah, what if? I think main deck Veil of Summer would become very popular. No, I don't know about that, but I could see them doing a easier to play fall, or like a fall that had a less bad fail condition. Also, can we talk about how my Grey Ogre is kind of going all the way here? Like, this is no longer a joke. Are they Castle Vantressing, or what is this? What is 4 mana that they would be playing? I could see them play Kaya's Guile for 3 mana. 4 mana. Cryptic? Cryptic. Do I go Snap Drown? You were booted. Were you booted? What? Yeah, I got you. Just burn them out. Well, yeah, I want to, but they're bouncing my 2 damage that I kind of needed. Like, I guess I let this resolve and just replay it, and then try to kill him next turn. Bolt, snap, bolt. Oh my god. Yeah, my brain was locked in. Yeah. My brain was locked into the idea that I needed to use the Snapcaster to interact with things that they were doing. And totally forgot that okay, this is our moment. Helix. Yeah. Actually, let's play the Helix only now. Can be patient and force the issue next turn. That's what I was... I've waffled now and put myself in a worse spot because of it. But playing the Helix is not a problem. And I'm just going to leave them with this Skyclave Apparition on board that they feel like they need to deal with now. Like, if they play a Teferi 5 or a Jace, they kind of are incentivized to bounce the Skyclave. Unless they have another card to answer it. But if they have another card to answer it, then they're using those 2 things to not have an answer to the Snap Helix. So, we'll see. You are not allowed to play Kaya's Guile. That is not allowed. Alright. I'm letting this go. And the reason I'm letting this go is I'm trying to win this game. And unfortunately, they have 3 cards in hand. And while I also have 3 cards in hand, I know 2 of mine are Fatal Pushes. They've already burned a Fatal Push, so I feel like I'm not going to be lucky enough. That is an excellent draw. There we go. What do you got, nerd? What do you got? Get in there, baby. I see you're one of those control players. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Give it to me, baby. 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 Oh, God, a fatal push target. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you, opponent. Do 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 do. Be do 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 do. Bit it bit boop do. Bit it boom boom boom. Be do do. But it do 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 do. Oh, we'll see. That's a draw. Hell yeah. Now, most likely they have a removal spell for my Snapcaster, which means, yeah, that the Narset will get hit for 2. Yeah. Which means I won't be able to get the second card out of it. But I have Fatal Pushes, so. Wow. Just don't mind me, opponent. Don't mind me. I'm just over here drawing hot fire. Hot fire. Woo! Resolves. Resolves. That's... that's something. That... oh. Woo! Woo! Scoop now or forever hold your peace. What is this? You know what? You got it. You earned that one. Mana leak. Uh-oh. What is this? Oh, Vantress, sure. To be fair, right there, that was a spot where if that Mana Leak had been a counterspell, that would have been a big deal for them. So, get ready for Modern Horizons 2, y'all. Well, thanks, Dearth Combo. This deck has been it's been a romp. We're looking to hit a 3-2, actually. After the 0-2 start, it looked a little sloppy and abysmal, but our luck significantly improved after that point, and we're looking good for the 3-2. Looking good. Oh, yeah. 3-2 all day. Push. Counter it. Do it. Do it now. Have I been practicing the Macho Man? A little. I'm a fan of the absurdity that is Macho Man Randy Savage, so. Is my opponent in the grieving phase? I feel like they are. Oh, please go for the bounce Snapcaster draw a card line. Do it. The value's on the table. No, they won't. Well, they wouldn't. They shouldn't. Counter target spell and return target permanent. Oh, they're bouncing the Teferi. Yeah, I'll just counter that. Which is funny, though, Darth Combo, because for me, out of the two characters in the mental scene that I best know with Macho Man, it's Macho Man being interviewed by Mean Gene Okerlund. And Gene Okerlund has, in my opinion, basically the best broadcaster voice I've ever heard. And the counterpoint of him having to interview these completely batshit insane... oh yeah, we could just win. Yeah, don't worry guys, we'll do it. Dude! Do you not know me? They do not count as being cast, no. Listen, folks, everyone here, just, there's a Teferi in play, it doesn't matter, they can't stop me. Just remember, you can always count on me to miss the just kill them line. You can always count on me to miss the just kill them line. Anyway, the counterpoint of Mean Gene Okerlund being the one who has to interview these batshit insane wrestling personalities is just hilarious. So all discard on deck seems good. Force of Negations are actually probably surprisingly okay. Negate is fine. Probably don't need the Lightning Bolt. The Helixes, I think, are probably okay-ish. Maybe I don't need them. I like a handful of like cards that do like burn-ish things. The Force of Negation and the Liliana are like more cards that I kind of want. I think the Lilianas are probably not necessary here. Teferi 5 is an evil dude. I would call him a rude dude. Rude dude with an attitude. Like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Well, if I'm going to go this direction, I think I'd rather have Bolt than Helixes. Just because it's more mana efficient. Oh, obviously Mystical Dispute is supposed to be in here. Oh, there's Verdict. Doy. Come on, idiot. This guy playing Supreme Verdict against a... Alright. Seems good. Anyway, yeah, so UMAD storm copies of a spell are not cast. They're placed on the stack by a copying ability. Darth Combo, if you've never seen Mean Gene Okerlund interviewing Macho Man, I'm going to put it on after this match. So you can see the beauty, the savage ballet. What's up, Big Benford? Yeah, the interviews peak Macho Man. I feel like the person that has that Macho Man's about to go wrestle to, or like he's scheduled for a match against, also has some like ludicrous name like Golden Boy or Boy something. I don't know. Yeah, that's the one. Yep. The cream rises to the top. That's the interview. Dandy Boy? Boy Dandy? Ah, man, I'm not going to be able to remember it, but it's hysterical. So, Snap Thoughtseize or Narset? I feel like Snap Thoughtseize is fine here. And the reason I'm doing this is that I don't have a good reactive plan here. So hard cast Force of Negation. Yes, good. Oh! Oh, snap! Vendilion Clique. That was unexpected. Oh shit, Phoenix, I need to give you a follow. Let me give you a follow right now. I didn't know you actually streamed. I always for some reason we're not like, oh, we are friends. I don't know what that means, but let me go give you a follow. We are Twitch friends. Again, I don't know what that means, but holy crap, that is a hand. I mean, I guess I'm taking the Archmage's Charm and praying. And then what did they do with my hand? Wait, or did they target themselves? No, they put Jace on the bottom, and then I drew this island. Excellent. Phoenix is turn on notifications. Is that? Oh no, I'd already followed you. Huh? Weird. I just didn't notice you were streaming because Phoenix I kept seeing you as listed like near the bottom of the tab thingy nonsense, whatever. And oh, that's an insane draw. And it would always tell me like Phoenix is watching this person's stream. Phoenix is watching that person's stream. No, you're not at the bottom of the list because you're streaming though. You're at the bottom of the list because you're not streaming usually. It's just letting me know that you're online and you're watching someone. Phoenix like to watch. Phoenix like to watch. What am I playing in the challenge on Sunday? I'm playing recording a podcast episode. So we usually record our podcast every other weekend on the Sunday. And because this week we got to record at night. So you're telling me I can play the challenge? All right, I'd probably play in Velomachus. I did not mean to pass there. It's fine. Yeah, it's totally fine. I'll just probably play Velomachus turns. That deck has not started treating me badly. Did I miss attacking last turn? Am I just a baddie? I mean, I am just a baddie, but... Okay. Oh, right. Yeah, I saw you mentioned that. Yeah, here comes the Cryptic. Then we have Dispute. Then they're going to play Teferi if they hit their land. So I'm just hoping they miss their land drop here. Am I supposed to bounce my Snapcaster Mage here? I bet that I am. Because then if they play Teferi and tuck my Teferi, I can just go Snap Bolt and instead of having to... No, I could have just attacked it. Well, whatever. It's fine. No land. You never drew a land in your life. Your deck doesn't have lands in it. They do have another Cryptic, so they could bounce my Teferi here, but I really don't mind. Sure. Desperation time for the Esper player. Manages to find a drowned catacombs, but is that going to be enough? Well, that's an incredible question, and I'm glad you asked me. Big Ben, if there is some tiny shop in Belleville or somewhere somewhat local to you, and they want a couple of guys with almost no internet clout but a small amount of Magic the Gathering online experience to come and do commentary for them, call me up. I will give the best announcer voice I have. You give the best, like, actual hockey commentary. You can actually do the play-by-play, and I'll just come up with random entertaining crap. It'll be a great day. It'll be a great day for baseball. Magic the Gathering. Golf? Whatever we're doing here. Stats guy? Yeah, but like the very confused stats guy. Stats guy who doesn't know where he is or what day it is. Next, Cedric and Patrick. The Canadian Cedric and Patrick. I have a dream. I do have a dream that someday Magic the Gathering will have classic baseball sounding announcers. And I've got enough charisma and lack of shame to pull off doing it. And again, like baseball, and this is one of the things that I like different commentary for different sports is very fascinating to me. And one of the things is like baseball, Magic has a lot of downtime. They parody it on The Simpsons where they're like, where there's a month where Homer stops drinking and he goes to a baseball game. And he's the only one there who's not drinking. And he sort of becomes self-aware of how boring baseball is. And he's just listening to the commentary and he's like, the commentary is like, and they're winding up for the pitch here. Oh, hold on. The batter is heading over to the dugout to get another bat, and the ball boys are discussing which one of them is going to get it to him. And Homer's response is just like, wow, I never noticed how boring this game is. And Magic definitely has that vibe, like when people are shuffling up and when there's like a judge call on the play and there's no communication with the booth a lot of the time about what the judge... Ooh, second to fairy. About what that judge call is actually about. So it's always one of those interesting situations. I'm wondering if they... Yeah. Hell yeah. And so there's a lot of time to fill. And so what you have to do is you have to... Well, you don't have to, but in my opinion, it'd be great to have Magic people who have been around for a long time. Yeah. When they do all the filler stuff, but I want to hear that like old baseball stuff where it's like radio baseball host would be decent at MTG coverage. Well, that's my point, is that I just would love to hear that crossover so that like when there's something going on in the game, you can have your coverage dude being like, this reminds me of a time back in 1998, I believe it was, the finals between Bob Meyer Jr. and John Finkel. Well known, of course. Yeah, Brockmire is my inspiration for sure. Hank Azaria playing what's the character's name? This is John Brockmire. Let's get Hank Azaria. No, I'm budget Hank Azaria. By the way, that whole time we were winning that game. And it looks like the players are shuffling up again. Not entirely sure what's going on there. Yeah, 3-2 ain't bad. So the deck I referred to here as Drunken Snapcaster Control because it looked like someone sort of half-assed a Jeskai control deck and then half-assed an Esper control deck and then ended up shuffling it together by accident and then cut it down to 60 cards. This was a blast and a half. Expressive Iteration, I feel like the jury's out a little bit on it, but I really think it does have a lot more potential than I thought. This deck's a little bit clunky, but I'm not really sure how you can alleviate that. I think this is probably a fabulous deck for playing modern leagues, if you're willing to die to variants a bunch of the time. I really don't like the Skyclave Apparition. I would just cut that right out. Just get that out of there. That's such a ridiculous reach. And it's not necessary for much at all. If you get Blood Moon, you can't cast it, so it's not helpful there. So I just don't really understand the point of that card in this list. I would replace it with basically anything else. Really felt like the 61st card. Needs more one-man interaction. I agree with that, Colby, but I'm not sure what that should be. Run another Thoughtseize. I'd rather run an Inquisition, I think. This deck has enough ways to deal with Storm Wing entity. Yeah, another Bolt would be fine. I mean, we've got 3 Helixes, though. So... And, like... I don't know. I also feel like 4 Expressive Iteration is a lot. I feel like the main deck Liliana is a lot. Yeah, it feels like we're trying to do too much. I completely agree with that, Hands. I think the main deck Liliana is a lot. That's so much. Even the sideboard Liliana, I'm like, oh, really? But I don't know exactly how I would switch that up. I like having the Kolaghan's command. I feel like Prismari command would be okay in here as like a one of somewhere. Although Kolaghan's command plus Snapcaster Mage is so freaking good. Just run 3 fairy. I mean, I think we have that covered. So... no, it's all good. Swap Lily for Prismari, then go down to 2 iterations for an Inquisition and an Opt or something like the last card. Yeah. Well, so... Opt and Serum Visions, I think those cards are generally for decks that have a more focused game plan than this one. I like this. You don't like that we're 4-color. I love that we're 4-color just for the sheer glory of it. Like, we just 3-2'd in a Modern League with a 4-color control deck, and we beat the one Blood Moon deck we played against, right? I will say this whole list is totally soft to the actual enchantment Blood Moon. So some Celestial Purge in the sideboard would not go amiss. Search for Kanta. I think Search for Kanta is pretty garbage tier for Modern. I've seen blue-white controls and Esper control decks playing it, and I think they're getting into an unhealthy arms race with each other, and they're ignoring the larger threat of the mid-range decks and the super aggressive decks. Oh my god, why are there no Sea Purges? I don't know, dude. Splash green and shove some Oath of Nissa. I mean, what I would shove in here is Wrenn and 6, first of all. But this deck did give me a lot of hope for the potential to play a 5-color version of this that just jams some Wrenn and 6 to this and goes, why not? So you may see that next week if you show up at some point. We'll just play 5-color, and our goal will be to get a 2-3. But for the moment, we're going to take a brief little break, and then we're going to hop over and play UMAD's Shape a New deck. That is attempting to put a Blightsteel Colossus into play as early as turn 3. So this should be fun. 5-color friends, yeah. So we're going to be doing this in a second. So stick around. And if you're in the future on YouTube, you may be able to find that video. But even if you're not, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, check out any other videos you like, and I know I will see you there. For everyone who's live, we're going to watch a brief little clip on YouTube. Although, what is this? Rush F?